Our show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, Personal Injury Attorney, Magnolia Wealth Strategies, a Mass Mutual Firm, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. We got a good one for you all tonight. Joining us at around 7:30 p.m. will be the head coach of the Warren Easton Eagles, Coach Jerry Phillips. You know, Warren Easton is part of our game of the week this upcoming Friday night, or maybe Saturday, we shall see, due to the circumstances of Hurricane Francine out there, but we will see when this game will be played, but most likely it is being played. I'm joined by my two co-hosts that you can see on CrescentCitySports.com. We got George Peppers. What's up, GP?
What's happening? And before we start, we know the backdrop of.
What the backdrop of what? Your whole sound went out, man. What you mean the
But I just
backdrop?
I muted myself.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. We
Go
understand. We understand what's coming tomorrow. Potentially Hurricane Francine. I haven't seen a new update. It still was a tropical storm as of 4 o'clock. I have not seen a 7 o'clock advisory, but
it's a hurricane.
we it is a hurricane now.
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you out there that need a distraction, need a little bit of a break from watching all this weather coverage and watching where this thing's going to go, here we are to give it to you. Here we are to give it to you for an hour and a half or however long we're going to be, to give you a little bit of a distraction and take your mind off of things as we all get ready for tomorrow. But I'll say this on behalf of the Hash It Out Show. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to every family that has had to leave in advance of this storm. And we all can pray that this storm does minimal of anything, doesn't do anything as far as damage or anything like that. We have bounced back before from bigger. We'll bounce back from this.
We also got the one and only VK Jones. What's up,
The
VK?
legend.
What's going? What's good? What's going on, people? Like, tag, share, and subscribe to the Hash It Out Show. All social media platforms. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And log on to the hashedoutshow.com. And this is an interesting week and a little dip in the plans because of a certain storm. But we're still going to bring you a good show, good sports talk, and a very good guest tonight. So let's get it going.
Let's get it going. Let's get started on some breaking news that happened earlier today, and that is the number one player in the nation for the class of 2026, Jakeem Stewart, has enrolled at Edna Carr. So word got out that St. Augustine High School would not let him reclassify into the class of 2025. We heard about that in the summer, that he wanted to reclassify in the class of 2025 to go to college early. Word came out that St. Augustine would not allow it, but VK got some interesting news that he found out, and we're gonna let him start this off. Go ahead, VK.
Well, a lot of people was wondering that why administration in St. Augustine did not give Jakeem Stewart the chance to reclassify, and he actually had the grades and the credits to do it. What happened was St. Augustine's administration hands was tied. The reason why the hands was tied because the Archdiocese of New Orleans did not let them do it, because this is not the first time that this case has happened. They had various athletes from other schools in years past that didn't that they had tried. The other schools tried to reclassify them, and the archdiocese would not let them, and they do not do reclassifications at all, like talking about it. And to me, that's huge right there. Hearing that and hearing that St. Augustine tried to get Jakeem to get reclassified. But hearing that more than anything else, it upsets me very, very much, because as a St. Augustine alumni, we had to dealt with some stupid things from the Archdiocese of New Orleans. And I'm tired of the Archdiocese of New Orleans, because they're the ones that took away the Board of Education from St. Augustine. They're the ones that did some stupidness in the past to try to almost block St. Aug from even coming in the league, in the Catholic League, long time ago. St. Aug had to go to court to try to get in way back in the 60s. So plain and simple, to St. Augustine High School and as an alumnus, and I'm gonna be straight up with you, they should have did this years and years ago. They should have did this years and years ago. Please disassociate from the archdiocese. You're your own entity. You have been your own entity. The archdiocese don't run St. Augustine. You do. So you don't have to associate with the archdiocese of New Orleans. Split, get the hell away from them. Because that right there, regardless of that, that's a freaking joke. The tradition, all this tradition stuff right now will hold you back. Stop it. Adapt to the times, archdiocese. Adapt to the freaking times, because that's what it is now. And you want to go with this stuff. That's what's holding everybody back. And I think this is going to hurt future schools, bringing super athletes like a Jakeem or anything else to come to those schools, because they're going to see a lot of these kids, not just the fact that they're athletically good, that they're very good in the classroom too, and they're way ahead of the curve. And they want to do with this traditional crap instead of understanding what the opportunity is there for that person to have a bright future, and it could happen sooner. So for the Archdiocese of New Orleans, you're absolutely wrong for what you're doing. St. Aug, you need to get away from them. But at the same time, with what's going on, it's going to hurt great athletes to come to those schools in the future, because they're going to feel like they're kind of being held back. Unless they're being loyal up to stay at the school and want to grad, that's fine. But people sometimes might want to say, hey, I want to go somewhere else and try to get it done. Even if I don't play, I just want to still get my diploma early and go and play immediately. So it's crazy enough to say it, but it's unbelievable. I just wish that and then I think that St. Aug did try. Is the fact that we had to deal with those pompuses over there again.
Well, I'm gonna jump in right quick. I'm gonna jump in right quick. I hear everything she's saying, and I'm gonna go to a different topic of the situation,
Good.
because what I didn't say earlier is, as of right now, he cannot play in the car. But the process of him not being able to play and being able to play isn't over yet. From what I was told, Edna Carr is playing this safely and smartly. as of right now. They're not rushing him to get on the football field. They want to make sure they're doing the right things before anything is said that they have done something illegal. So they're waiting on that. So before I heard that in the car, I was sitting here like, well, why would his parents withdraw him from St. Augustine and transfer him to a school in the state, but not in the area where he lives and not be able to play? That was my question because he is from Reserve, Louisiana. So if he enrolled at East St. John, he could play immediately.
Or
Even if he
Riverside.
enrolled at maybe Riverside too, or St. Charles Catholic. So that's what bothers me because I think if he transferred to East St. John, they would reclassify him and he would be able to play right then and there. So right now, as of now, his high school football career is over. Just 2 seasons of high school football. And I think that's so far, and just me speaking, so I don't know what's about to happen going forward. But he's not able to play at all. I think that's a disservice to him. Now, of course, he's going to train. He's going to train. And once the spring comes, the winter comes, he's going to go to USC or LSU, whatever, and he's going to be with them practicing. I just hate the fact that he can't play right now. And I hope that he's able to play, but his parents did what they thought was best for him. Let's get that straight. But I look at it like, if I send you the car, you don't live in Carr's district, you can't play. You live in East St. John's district, I send you there, you can play. That's just how I'm looking at it. George Peppers, your thoughts?
Where to start? There's many layers to this. It really is. You know, and I don't know what kind of backlash or anything or responses have been generated from this whole story when it initiated last week, with Jakeem leaving St. Aug. For me, there's a lot of questions. For me, one, what made Jakeem want to leave St. Augustine? He had 2 years left on a team, and I said this in the chat, VK, Jared, y'all know that I think has answered some critics. I know they had the two big, performances against Destrehan and Shaw, and then they backed it up with a resounding win opening night against SmackDown at 35. That Purple Knights team has become, to me, a sleeper to win it all in Division One. If he's going to Edna Carr to try to win a ring, he could have stayed right at St. Aug to do the same thing, maybe this year. If not this year, definitely next. So that's the football side of it. The academic, the archdiocese side, and this is where I'm trying to learn from this, because I'm a public school graduate. Of the three of us, I'm the only one that went to public school. Smart move. I'm just kidding about that. I'm kidding on that. But from what I understand, the preparatory courses in an archdiocese school are different than at a public school. You can attain college credits at an archdiocese school like St. Aug, like Shaw, Brother Martin, and all the teams that we met, the aforementioned Catholic League. You can attain college credit. So what's the problem? What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? What's the problem with them reclassifying him? What is the archdiocese doing? Talking about he's got to wait 2 years. First of all, St. Augustine was built as the only school in the Catholic League. It's the only archdiocese school in the Catholic League that's majority black. Am I right? A lot of the other schools don't have the population.
Yes. The only one.
In the
Yes.
archdiocese, that's what I'm saying. And I'm staying on the archdiocese. They're the only school.
St. Augustine, St. Catherine Drexel,
Mhm.
St. Mary's Academy.
So now the archdiocese is doing what? Posturing? What are we doing here? Are we posturing? Because to me, now Jakeem Stewart, but here's the other part. And this has not been said by anybody, and it's about to be said by me. I don't know what kind of a precedent this sets going forward. I think all three of us can agree Jakeem Stewart is a transcendent athlete and will be a superb player at the next level. I think we're all in agreement on that. Am I right? VK, am I right?
Correct.
He's a Sunday player. in my
Thank you.
opinion.
All
Without a doubt.
off top. So what if we get a situation in a year, maybe sooner, another player without the reputable talent of Jakeem Stewart pulls the same stunt to try to get reclassified? That's the precedent I'd be afraid of. Jakeem's doing it because it's in the best interest of him, and he's already got the credits. So before y'all go talking about he wants to leave early because he's this and that, he thinks he's got the credits in place already.
Yes.
He's got them in place. So to all you scumbags, excuse me for saying it that way,
Oh Lord.
that to all you knuckleheads that are going to say all that, here I got a zipper and a Ziploc bag. Zip your lip and don't say nothing because you know nothing. Learn, listen, and learn before you talk. That's the going problem with some sports people around here too. Talking about nationally, they got people that talk out of their behind. We know this. Skip Bayless. I mean, somebody like that. That's who I'm referencing. They talk out of their behind instead of talking with reputable minds and honesty. That's what we do here. We talk honest. We talk open. And
I'm a
look on it, Jakeem Stewart. More power to you. But as an Aaron alumnus, I kind of wish you'd have went to 4300 Patriot Street, man. I don't know what you're doing going to college.
Oh man.
I mean, I kind of
Look,
wanted you at
look,
Aaron.
look. Too bad.
Considering
Too
what happened
bad.
against Chalmette, hey, considering what happened last Thursday in our Hash It Out show, uh, week 1 game of the week, where Chalmette dropped 30 early, and Jakeem's there. That's a big difference, right?
Look,
I'm just,
look.
hey, I'm trying to recruiting pitch here. I tried the
Yeah, I see
recruiting pitch,
that. Let me
you
say
know.
this. Let me say this. Let me
All
say
right.
this. If what VK is saying is true about the archdiocese getting involved, because it's the information he got, I'm gonna say this: the archdiocese needs to stay out of that. Needs to stay out of that, because it looks like to me in Catholic schools, if you got enough credits to graduate early, they're gonna shut it down. AJ Samuel, quarterback for Edna Carr 2 years ago, graduated early. Early. He didn't graduate his junior year, but he was a senior and he graduated a whole semester ahead of the next semester. And he in the fall semester he was done, finished. So that sounds like to me that the archdiocese is saying we're gonna make you do all of these years, and I think that's a disservice to players who already have credits to graduate early. I think that's messed up. Even if you're not even a player, if you're just smart academically and you have credits to graduate early, or they still saying that you can't do it, I think that is a discredit to to those students. Period. I think if you got your credits and you could graduate early and you could attend college the next semester early, go right it. Let them do it. I don't see what the problem is with this, VK.
I don't see the problem with it at all either. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it, the archdiocese meddles with the wrong stuff. It's stupid. Like some things with the archdiocese, and me being a product of the private school system the majority of my life, there's some things the archdiocese do that is very questionable. And it's like what that, and sometimes I ask the question, what the hell are you thinking? What the hell are you thinking? Huh? It's the fact of the matter is it's not rational thinking at all. It's idiocy. And I'm sorry. I have to say that. It ain't the fact they're putting a disservice to the other schools. Yeah, you're doing a disservice to the other schools all around, but you're doing a disservice to my alma mater. And there's more than one occasion. So I'm sorry. That's just what it is. You can come after me. I don't care. I'm telling you like it is tonight because I'm tired of you. That's just what it is. You already took one thing from St. O that killed it, but thank God we surviving. At the same time, I be god dog finding out about this. It's like, yeah, I'm pointing a finger at y'all. That's straight up. Because you don't know what opportunities you have. You don't know how much that means and everything else. to just hold people back. What's the deal? I don't understand. But see,
So,
George,
mhm.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna go on. George made a great point. Great point about all these people saying whatever more to about the kid and everything about the situation with Jakeem. Here's the biggest thing about this. Some of y'all can, it depends on the circles, but sometimes a case like this, and I dealt with that before, and I was wrong on that. And that athlete is Mitchell Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
We thought, why is they pulling Mitchell here and all that? And look what happened after. We now
Pretty
A
I'm
good
not
successful
friend.
NBA career.
I'm not exactly. I'm not about to fall, but not for this is a different situation in itself, but that's kind of similar. But this is different because this cat we know is gonna play on Sundays for sure.
Yeah.
So plain and simple, let this situation run its course. And let's see what happens. It ain't a kid that's just an athlete, ladies and gentlemen. This dude got it all there. So
So Alston Tyler said this is just another reason why top players might want to leave the state. A good friend Mitch, he says it's a business move. High school has become more like college and NFL.
I
So
disagree.
you disagree? All right, go
I
ahead,
totally do.
explain.
mhm.
Okay. First of all, if it was a business, where's the money?
Oh,
Where's the
trust me,
money?
high school players are
No,
getting
I'm talking about for the
NIL
player.
deals now.
They getting
Okay.
NIL deals.
But I
Yes.
wanted to go. I wanted to piggyback back to something about Jakeem and about the Archdiocese. One more
Uh
thing
huh.
that I wanted to bring up. This ain't Burger King. This ain't have it your way. All right. That's not what I want to say, though. That's one thing. But you want the man to play 2 more years because you feel hell bent on giving him 2 more years. Damn the college credits, right? What if he gets hurt? What if he suffers a debilitating injury? Accidents happen. We have seen it before. What if he gets hurt and suffers a gruesome injuries? And I'm not listen, I'm not, going, I'm not saying I'm wishing nothing, no, at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, I
But
know.
accidents happen. And so now does the Archdiocese look, oh well, if you see where I'm going with this? You
Yeah,
give him two
yeah.
more years, let's say he suffers an injury and whatnot. What this does do for St. Augustine in the football sense, it hurts them big time. You lose that guy off your defensive rotation, there's still a solid defense, but that dude is that good. And now it changes the complexity of what they do. Offensively, they're one of the best. They're one of the sleeper teams in the state. But now for Ed
Are they
Carr,
are they still are they still a sleeper team without him?
no, at all. I don't think they're
So
deep
without
enough
Jakeem,
defense. Without Joaquin,
without
they're not deep enough defensively.
hmm
Offensively, they will score points. They will score. But Jakeem's a stopper. And now they can key in on, I forgot the other kid's name on that line. They can key in on him and try to expose anywhere, maybe areas where all gets soft in the back. You know, they could key in on other areas. With Jakeem there, teams couldn't do that. You got a game plan for him, and you freed up all those other studs over there. But now without him, it's a different game plan.
it's a different game plan. I mean, most teams had to double team him, but he had a good running mate in the Tulane commit. What's his name? VK
I
Ward
forgot his
Roberts.
name.
Yeah, I think you said Ward, and then you got Ty Dominique as
Okay.
well. So they're gonna, and I'm gonna say this, Jakeem, he's gonna be a huge loss, but they got two other defensive linemen for St. Aug that is going to pick it up. These two guys have really improved a whole lot. So my thing with this, we're gonna see in the next couple weeks. If St. Aug gets some big wins, if they can pull off some huge ones, especially against an Easton, against a Car, look out. They might not be missing too much. So we're gonna see, because the biggest thing I seen, we know Jakeem was the man, but we seen a lot more than Jakeem on the defense. That was the scary part. We see depth, meaning plug and play. So we just got to see what happens if these guys pick up the slack. Say no, might be okay. We're gonna see what happens.
I'm gonna say this. Darren Coates, freshman at St. Augustine, was the backup to Jakeem Stewart, and he got the start against McDonough 35. 1 sack, 3 tackles for loss, pick 6. Way to step up in your first start, freshman Darren Coates. Way to
Wow.
start. Way to step up.
That's
So
a hey that and that's a really good sign. That's a really
good
good sign.
sign. He still needs some more size for that
Yes.
defensive end position. I think he would be better at linebacker. That's just me saying that. That's just me. But I'm not a coach. And the coaches decide where he's to play, where they think he's going to succeed at. And obviously, so far, they are right. They are right. Um, no, you can't. No, David Kinsey, you cannot replace Jakeem Stewart. Not at all. Not at all. And that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I just said that the freshman had a great game stepping in for Jakeem who left. But no, there is no replacing Jakeem Stewart.
No, no, not at all.
Not at all. No Drake Nevis from John Eric. No Marlon Favorite from West Jeff. No Anthony Johnson from Old Perry Walker. I think we can
Now
go on and on.
Roland Seymour, no Raynash Thompson,
Tyson Jackson, Marcus
Tyson
Spears.
Jackson, Marcus Spears. And Marcus
Yeah,
Spears was a tight end in high
yeah,
school.
sure was, man. Ain't no replacing none of them. That's studs, and Jakeem Stewart was a stud, man. And I was vouching for him last year, saying he should have made All State when he had 23 sacks as a sophomore, and he didn't make All State, which to me was just ridiculous.
Politicized is
Leave the
what that
politics
is.
alone. What you say?
It was politicized. I was just
Yeah,
piggybacking.
yes,
I mean, let's call it what it is. I mean,
yeah.
facts are facts.
Nigga.
Those dudes at the LSWA, and look, I know a few of them. We all know some guys. All right, and
Hmm.
I thought 23 sacks as a sophomore. That's transcendent talent. That dude is telling you he's a transcendent player. He's showing you he's built 6'6", what 275, I think.
Just about, yeah,
All
yeah,
right, and he's only a junior. So
yeah.
let's see what happens going forward within the car. The rich get richer, and people are going to get mad because he went to car. There's going to be people when this gets officially official, like, like completely done and he can play. There's going to be people that are going to speak on stupidity and say that, oh, he's just going there to chase the ring. He don't care about it in the car. Do you
Oh,
know the man?
I already
Do you know the
know.
man? No, you don't. So shut
I
up.
already, I already know where it's gonna start at. I already know where that's gonna start at. So,
I got you.
plain and simple, I'm forewarning you, and I know, and you know who you are. Let me hear that, and I'm gonna check you right at the door.
Oh Lord, he gonna
You
I'm
get
gonna
ain't
check
gonna
you right.
cross
No,
check him.
I'm
oh
dead. No,
Lord.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
I
I'm
feel
sick.
you, dude.
Listen. I'm saying that because I get sick and tired of ignorance, and sometimes people need to get checked for that.
We got
That's
a
just all
question
it
right
is.
quick. I'll let you get back to your statement. We got a question.
Sure.
Miss says, "Do we think he will be able to play at all this season?" Look, all we know is they're still in the process of getting him able to play. That's all we know right now. Story came out saying that he's ineligible. Then another story came out and says in the car are taking their time with this process. They don't want to get themselves in trouble. So it's just a wait and see game, Mitch. That's all it is right now. Go ahead, VK. Finish your statement.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. Man, plain and simple, man. It's like this, man. I'm like this, bro. We been in this game for a long time. I seen somebody posted like Grant Sashery's top 11, and somebody there's some of the problem with the media, man. And I kind of took offense. Like, wait a minute now, hold on. Some of us don't have to do this. We do this because we want to. We do this because we love the game. We want these kids to get exposure. That's why we do this. We don't have to be out here, but we out here. Don't come up in here. Don't try to challenge us. Don't come in and commit career suicide. Don't get your career ended. Don't get your career ended. Stay where you at. Bring that same energy when homeboy handling his business and wind up being here on Sundays handling his business, man. Don't say anything. Bring that same goddamn energy. Bring the same energy.
Wait, VK, I saw
Leo,
this.
I think it's think it's some alumni of St. Augustine. I think that's what he's talking
Wait,
about.
VK, I do
VK,
have a question.
go ahead, text. Hold on, George. I'm gonna let you ask your question. VK, I need you to text
Sir,
Coach and see
sir.
if he's still coming on. Go ahead, George, with your question while he's texting Coach.
This actually was for VK.
Right?
He's talking about the top 11 that was posted at QuestCitySports.com. I didn't really, all I saw were the teams, but I didn't really read like the whole thing. I just skimmed it. So what did I miss?
I
Well,
didn't.
somebody, not gonna say any names or what page it came from. Somebody on a certain page said this is the problem with
Make it
certain
quick.
media right now. That was said on that post.
All
Oh,
right,
wow.
and we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at
That's it.
that. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will be joined by the head coach of the Warren Easton Fighting Eagles, Coach Jerry Phillips, right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching the Hash It Out Show.
Head boys basketball coach at Bonneville High, and you're watching the Hash It Out Show. Go Bruins!
Welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy, joined by George Peppers and VK Jones. As you just saw, the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week has the Warren Easton Fighting Eagles taking on the John F. Kennedy Cougars. As of right now, the game is still scheduled for Friday at 7 o'clock. We are video streaming the game live. We will start our pregame at 6:30. We kick off at 7 o'clock, and you can catch this game on JB the Sports Guy YouTube page. Joining us now is the head coach of the Warren Easton Fighting Eagles, the one and only Coach Jerry Phillips. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How y'all feeling?
Doing good,
Good,
Coach.
we good, Coach.
Thank you for joining us, Coach.
Yes,
Coach,
sir.
I want to go back to last season right quick. Unfortunate circumstances happened with y'all season. At the end of the season, what was your message to your team?
Well, really, I was, just kind of like the kids. I was hurting for the seniors. So we try to do everything in our power to keep those guys grounded and still send them off well. But it's not like a red shirt year, man. You can't get it back. So we was hurt for a while, man. But once January came, we started, getting things back together and just kept on pushing, really. I kind of told the guys, at this point now, man, we shouldn't take anything for granted because it could be taken away from you at any moment. So make sure you enjoy practices, make sure you enjoy the workouts and everything, because at any given moment, it could be taken away from you.
What is it about this team this year that has you so excited about them?
Well, this team, man, we have a bunch of really talented guys, but we lack a lot of experience, game time experience. We have a lot of guys that nobody heard of, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that, man. I'm a big time underdog guy. I love to be the underdog, but we're just gonna keep working, man. This team, I say, it's different from a lot of my past teams and teams I've been a part of because you kind of contributed to what happened last year. These guys are together. They're a well-knit group, man. They get along real well. They hold each other accountable, and it's to a level that I've never seen at Warren Easton before. So, hopefully that's the change that we needed, to get us over that hump.
You played high school football. You played college ball at Tulane. But what was it, or why did you decide to become a football coach?
Man, I I thought about it for a long time, man, and it just happened, by chance. Just to tell you the story of it, I went to Tulane with Brandon Spann. He played basketball at Tulane, played at Jesuit.
Yeah.
We were real tight, and at a Tulane function, we just had a conversation. like, man, I'm really thinking about getting into coaching high school ball. You know, nothing serious, just small talk. And you know, he remembered that conversation, and like a couple of years later, his older brother Corey Span just called me out the blue and was like, Coach Tony Hall just moved me to the defensive coordinator, and I'm looking for some really good guys, man. And I talked to your brother. I talked, you know, with my brother, and he mentioned your name. You know, I had never met Corey before. And he was like, would you come in and would you like to do an interview with me and Coach Hall? You know, so I went in, did the interview, you know, of course, talked to the wife. You know, it just so happened my job was changing at the time to where I used to work till 5, 6 o'clock where I was working, but it just so happened my job changed and my hours changed and I was getting off at 3, you know, so it all happened for a reason. And, you know, I went and did the interview with him and Coach Hall, man, and, you know, the rest is history.
Brandon Span, that's one of the best basketball players I've ever seen in the city of New Orleans, man. Man, it's one of the best. Before I pass it on to VK, like we said, the Hash It Out Show game of the week is your team, Warren Easton Fighting Eagles, taking on the John F. Kennedy Cougars. Game still scheduled for 7 o'clock this Friday night as of now. But what is it about John F. Kennedy that you've seen on film?
Oh, man, Coach L. Page, I played ball with L. Page at Tulane, man. And, you know, he's been doing a really good job at building that program up. You know, they had a really good run last year, you know, a couple of calls here and there. You know, they might have got past y'all. You know, you never know, but that's how the ball bounces sometimes. But they're well coached. You know, I know a lot of coaches on the staff, really talented. They get after it. And he's been building it, you know, and he's got it going in the right direction, man. And I commend him for that. You know, watching them on film, they're real athletic, really good on special teams, you know, and they play tough on defense. You know, that's just who L. Page is, man. And, you know, they're taking on his character and they playing some really good ball.
Go ahead, VK.
Coach Phillips, man, how you been? It's good to see you, man. Me and Coach Phillips go way back, man. We have a lot of connections. You know what I'm saying? And actually, one of my guys I used to work with played with him at Tulane, Kendall Francis.
Yes.
So you know we always run into each other, and you know it's good to have you on the show.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. I mean, I'm back coaching, so I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I tell the boys, man, can't nothing get me down. I'm happy to be at practice, to be around y'all, and just coaching some ball, man. So I'm excited.
Because last week, I'm gonna say this: a very good performance against Landry, scoring over 60 points. But at the same time, it seemed like I know you still was trying to find something out your team. But at the same time, we seen a smile on your face a little bit that Friday, knowing that, hey, I'm back. We backed up on the field. We back to business, and it seemed like your team was very focused in game one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot of smiling this year, man. You know, last week my offense, you know, Thomas Vaughn, Carl Reed, and my offensive line, man, they played real well. My receivers as well, because they had the block for Thomas and Carl as well, man. So my offense played lights out last week. We're still trying to find ourselves on defense. You know, like I said, we have a lot of guys that are talented, but they don't have any high school experience. You know, so we still going through that, and that's I'm not really getting too upset with them because I understand. You know, the more reps they get, the more experience they're going to get, the better they're going to get. You know, so we just, you know, we're going to clean things up. You know, I have a really good staff, man. I got my brother back, Noel Ellis. You know, so we just putting it together and we keep on pushing.
I understand. Very, very much agreed on that. It's good that Noel is back.
Yes.
And you know, you had, you know, it's a rotation more than anything else. You know, it's almost like with Tony Hall when he was the head coach. Now with you, you know, Wallace Foster now is the head coach at Riverdale. You know, but at the same time, you always say to a lot of us, including me, like, hey, you know, somebody could come in and stay here for a while, but if you got an opportunity, go get it. You know, you always give them the blessing to go pursue.
Yes, indeed, man. And you know, if you know, you have some guys that are they're good in their spots, you know, but some guys aspire to be a head coach, man. And I do everything in my power to try to, you know, help that come to fruition for them, because that's a dream for some of them. I'm so happy for Coach Foster, man, because he's been wanting to be a head coach for years. It's like every week he'll tell me, Coach, I got another interview. Coach, I got an interview. And finally Riverdale took a chance on him, man. And I think they they got a really good coach. He's already changing the program, and those guys are buying in early because what he's doing that they never seen before. So they believe in him and they're playing for him. And sometimes that's all it takes.
Looking at this game this week more than anything else, a big time showcase game between yourselves and Kennedy more than anything else, and expecting a huge crowd, probably standing room only. What you can take more than anything else is this like a more of a statement game for either team, because this is like I tell you, Warren Easton has been the standard this last decade, especially how y'all been really coming out, being a very good team in the city, and very consistent. And Kennedy is starting to try to get there themselves.
Yeah, I mean that's what everybody's telling me, man. This is gonna be a big game. This is a statement game. But I'm really not looking at it like that, man. It's just the next game on the schedule for us. We're gonna play hard. We understand what's at stake, but it's just the next game on the schedule, man. We are preparing the same exact way, and hopefully we play some Warren Easton football, man. And I know L Page and his guys are going to be ready, so I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a really good game.
And you look at, and I tell you one thing, it's something else. Each week prepares you more than anything. Your thoughts on now your team coming into the new District 9-5A.
I'm glad you said it like that, District 9-5A. We don't say the Catholic League at Warren Easton, man. We're not a Catholic school, we're in District 9-5A. But it's all fun, man. There's no disrespect to anybody. I like to have fun, give people some bulletin board material, but that district is going to be a really tough district, man. Everybody's good, so week in and week out, man, it's going to, whoever lines up, it can go either way. Who's ever hitting that night, who's ever clicking that night is going to win the game. So, we're going to have our guys prepared to the best of our ability, and hopefully, we come out victorious in that league, man. But everybody can play in that league. There's going to be no down games. You can't take any games off because you're going to get punched in the mouth if you do. So, but I think I know as a staff, we're going to be ready for it. And, with these guys, these talented guys that we have, by the time we start district, they should have enough experience and understand what it takes.
And looking at it, the big hope for y'all is the fact that y'all have one of the rare Orleans high schools that have a winning record against the Catholic League itself, and then on top of that, Edna Carr winning two straight Catholic League, two straight 9-5A titles.
Yeah,
but,
well, they call it the Catholic League, so you can say it that way.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this about it: the history of the Catholic League in itself. That for a long time, the great tradition of it. Then all of a sudden, St. Aug breaks in and integrates in the 60s, and for them to go through what they go through to where they are. But for now, you look at Edna Carr in year number 3 of the league, and you're coming in as year number 1 of the league, of 3 majority African American schools in that district. It really, really says something about the diversity of that district overall, period.
Yeah, and I think it's good for the district, just to have that diversity in there. I don't know if the older schools that's been in there, before we all got in there like it, because, Edna Carr, Warren Easton, and St. Aug, we play some really good football, and we're going to put them to the test. But, I mean, I like it, man. It's crazy how it all happened, but I tell people we'll go anywhere and play, man. It doesn't matter. That's just who I am. No matter what type of team I have, we're going to go anywhere and play anybody. But that district is going to be fun, man. And, you know, it's cool to be a part of it. You know, it's cool for Warren Easton to be a part of it. It's cool for me to be a part of it because, you know, it's different. It's real different. Going to a few district meetings, you know, the way things are handled and the way, you know, people are talking and stuff, man. So it's different. It's experience. It's a learning experience, you know, for everybody at Warren Easton.
Gotta ask you this last question before I give it over to George Peppers. And you know, welcome to the Caddy League, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Got to tell you that, you know, as an alumnus of St. Albert, but just welcome to the league. But at the same time, you know, everything that y'all went through last season and everything, for that Warren Easton administration to really support you from
Yes.
all that going forward. It seems like it's just a well built machine and like almost like a great marriage in itself. Can you tell us not just the progress of the school, but how the administration just really has had your back and continue to thrive?
Yeah, my administration, they've had my back from day one, you know, because I really didn't have any aspirations of being a head coach, you know, and I was cool with being a linebacker coach and being a defensive coordinator. But the administration, they supported me from day one, and they continue to support me. You know, all that craziness that happened last year, I was like, man, I don't know. You know, I tell my staff, man, I don't know which which direction they're gonna go in, because in all honesty, at the end of the day, if everything falls on me because I'm the head coach and I'm the kind of the face of the program. But they had my back from day one. They was like, you know, Jerry, don't worry about it. You know, you're not going anywhere. We want you here. Um, you know, and it really was a self check for everybody, including the administration, because they was like, look, we gotta do these things a better way. We gotta, you know, make sure we cross all our T's and dot all our I's, and you know, everybody pretty much had to go back to school on things and make sure we was doing everything correctly, you know. So, but overall, man, they've had my back. They have my back to this day. You know, they're not one of those administrations that hover over the program. You know, they have trust in me and my staff, and they allow us to do our thing, man. And you know, I really appreciate them for that.
George Peppers.
Coach Phillips, first of all, thank you for taking the time for joining us
Yes,
on the
sir.
Hashtag
Anytime.
Show in advance of this huge game against Kennedy. But I want to talk before I start. I'm with you. You're not a Catholic school. So
Okay.
you got so as a public school grad, I'm gonna tell you like it is. I'm gonna tell you like it is. I don't know how y'all in the Catholic League, but you know what? Maybe it's for the best in the sense that the competition that it's gonna breed going forward. But I want to talk about what got into your non-district schedule. When we look at last year's team, incredibly good team, beat two state champions resoundingly, Baton Rouge Catholic and Ruston. Went on the road and won both those games. So for those of you that want to dismiss Warren Easton, do it at your own peril. This is a good football team. Granted, they've only got 6 starters combined on both sides of the ball, but you're high on a couple of them. But I want to start, and let's talk about the guy that's going to be a commit to LSU, Jalen Chapman. How do you feel about his progression into his senior year? And part two, are you happy that the recruiting process is pretty much done and he can focus on playing football?
Well, Jalen is actually a junior.
Junior,
Um,
I'm sorry, Jesus Christ.
Junior,
Okay.
yeah. But you know, he's one of those one of those great kids, kind of like Cedric Van Pran. You know, he went through it. He was enjoying it at first, the recruiting process. You know, him and his family, his mom and his dad are great as well. But then it got to a point to where he was like, Coach, I really want to concentrate on us and concentrate on the season, upcoming season. But I was like, Jay, you're just a junior. He was like, Coach, you know, I know this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be, and I want to focus on my team for these last 2 years. You know, and I mean, you know, you got to respect the kid like that. He's very mature. He's great in the classroom, you know, and he's a leader of the team. You know, in practice, the kid, we have to slow him down. It's like, Jay, these dudes on your same team with you. Like, you can't be pancaking everybody, bro. You're gonna hurt somebody, you know. But that's just who he is, you know. He's on 100 nonstop all day when he gets on that field. But you know, you see him in the building, he's real well-mannered, mild-mannered kid and very respectful. So, you know, but he's one of the ones you wish you had 21 more of them, you know, so you can be strapped.
Yeah, exactly. Um, you scored 61 points against LB Landry last week with a brand new quarterback in Carl Reed. You called him a gunslinger in a preview earlier this summer. How has his game progressed? I think he's a junior, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a
The
junior as
quarterback.
well. He's a
Okay.
junior as well.
Talk about his progression throughout summer into fall. And then, yeah, last week it was his first varsity start. You got the win, 61 points. Was it more than you thought it would be, or do you feel like he's got more to give?
Do I think it was with Carl? No,
Yeah.
Carl is a gamer, man. Carl been a gamer his whole career. He's always been a quarterback. He's been bred as a quarterback. He knows our offense inside and out, man. He makes a lot of checks. For us, he has that. You know, we give him that leverage to make checks when he sees something. You know, aside from his stature, but he's tough as nails. You know, you have to tell him, like, Carl, like, relax. You know, he wants to run down there and block for the running back or the receivers, get in the way of people. Like, Carl, look, that's not your job. You know, we need you to run this offense, man. But, you know, he's a gunslinger. You know, last week the ball was soaking wet, so we really couldn't throw it that much. But we try not to put too much on him. You know, we have a massive offensive line and a pretty good running back, you know. So, you know, we just let him ease his way into it. He made a couple pulls last week that he shouldn't have made, but he ended up scoring on them, so we couldn't fuss at him too much about that. You know, but that, you know, that's one of the things, you know, we always talk to him about, like, Carl, you don't have to do anything, you know, don't put that much pressure on yourself. But he just wants to be a part of the team and be a factor, and we have to calm him down. So I'm like, Carl, just relax. You know, it's gonna come to you. The game is gonna come to you. But he can do it all, man. He can make all the throws. He can make all the reads, the right reads when he wants to. You know, sometimes he take it up on himself, and we have to get on him about that. But, you know, he's a 15, 16-year-old kid, so you can't get too mad at him.
No.
But he's been doing a pretty good job, man. He was lights out in 7-on-7 in the summer. He did pretty good in the spring game against Covington. So he's been coming along. He's been progressing real well.
When you look at the composition of your football team, everybody gravitates to the offensive line because it is one of the strongest offensive lines in the state. I think you guys are big, very agile. But I want to talk about your backfield because you have to replace, to me, one of the more underrated running backs in the state, in Fred Robertson. You got a couple of young kids in there now, and Thomas Sutton and Terrell Vaughn. Talk about those guys and what they bring to this backfield.
Man, they are electrifying, man. You saw what Thomas did last week. And Terrell is just as excited, man. But, you know, Fred was Fred last year, Fred Robinson. So we try to feature him, get him the ball as much as possible. You know, Thomas ran a little bit last year. He scored a few times. But those two guys, I mean, people are going to find out about them. You know, they already found out about Thomas. You know, I try to hide him as long as I can, but it ain't gonna be no hiding.
Can't do that all the time.
No, can't do that all the time, man. But, you know, we're gonna feed them and we're gonna run behind that offensive line. But
Which is a good thing. I'm sorry, Coach. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you good? You're good.
Okay. My next question: when you break down the Kennedy Cougars in advance of this game this week, look, and first of all, let us just say on behalf of the Hash It Out Show, we're proud to be a part of this broadcast and putting you guys out there and featuring your team in a high-profile matchup against two of the best teams in the city of New Orleans and maybe two of the more underrated teams in the state of Louisiana. So I just want to say we're proud to be a part of this. It's going to be a great atmosphere. But this week has been what it has been. You know, we've got a hurricane we're going to deal with. How has that affected preparation mentally? How have the kids been mentally, you know, this week, considering a big game and you got a hurricane coming?
Yeah, man, these kids are, like I said, they're 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, you know, so they're excited about getting some time off. You know, and I'm learning that the more and more I go as a coach, man. You know, they're teenagers, man. You know, and depending on how this week goes, this may be the way we practice the rest of the week. I mean, the rest of the year. You know,
Okay.
we just had a light walkthrough yesterday. We weren't allowed to practice today. We won't practice tomorrow or Thursday. So that walkthrough is the only real practice we probably going to have this week. Hopefully Friday before the game, I could get another walkthrough in. But again, you know, if they come out and play lights out, man, I might incorporate this the rest of the year. You know, these young
It saves a
kids,
lot of reps.
yeah, save their bodies too. But man,
Exactly.
these kids are different. You know, I love to practice, go to practice, and
Mhm.
learn the game. But they can just, you know, and they'll line up on Friday night and play lights out, man. So if that's what it is, you know, we gonna cater towards that. But I like being at practice, so we definitely gonna practice. But you know,
Of course.
I may pull back a little bit, you know, at practice and lighten practice up, depending on how they play Friday night.
I mean, if you drop 61 on Kennedy, maybe you might have to incorporate that practice routine going the rest of the year. 'Cause Kennedy's defense is pretty good. So if
Yeah,
you guys
man,
can hang that many on them, maybe you'd have to incorporate what you said, right?
man. If we drop 61 on Kennedy, we might not practice again. We just gonna show up on
Oh,
Friday night. Yeah, I didn't figure, you know, we didn't figure it out. We didn't figure the formula out, man. That's what we're gonna do.
exactly.
We're gonna try it the
Exactly.
rest of
But
the
with
year.
as you compare yourselves to the teams, I know some of the Catholic League teams. I mean, obviously at the con what they did last week, St. Augustine has had a great preseason and then followed it up with a dominant win against McDonough 35. Brother Barnes always good. When you look at your team, how do you guys feel like you measure up with the rest of that group? And
Um,
when you just how do you feel about your team going in when we get to Catholic League play or nine
yeah,
five A play? Let me say it directly,
I was
nine
about
five
to
A
say
play.
we get the District 958
Yeah,
play.
9-5-8. Yeah,
Um,
I caught myself right there. There you go, coach.
I mean, I think we measure up pretty well, man. We've played a lot of these teams before in the past. We've watched them a lot for as, you know, a staff. We always, you know, try to keep up with all the teams. So, you know, we know what everybody's about. A lot of these coaches have been around for a long time. So, you know, when you get our age, you get stuck in your ways,
Mhm.
unless you bring some new crazy coaches on. But I mean, we kind of know to expect, what to expect. But I think we match up pretty well, man. You know,
Mhm.
everybody have their own different style of play. But again, I have a great staff, man, and we're able to adjust, you know, to any style of play, man, and you know, we're just gonna roll with it.
District 9-5A has a group of unique coaches, legends, icons, and you're a part of it. It's a good thing to be in that problem. See, I didn't say Catholic League this time, so I'm learning quickly. That's impromptu learning on the fly. Um,
Oh man.
but my last question to you, Coach, as before I turn it back over to our host here, Jared. Um, this schedule, the way it's composed, and playing in 9-5A, preps you for the playoffs. What do you? I mean, obviously the ceiling is to win it all, but if you
Right.
get there and win it all, what would it mean to you to finally get that off your back and take that on? You know, put that on your resume. Say state champion head coach Jerry Phillips. What would it mean to you?
Man, I don't know how I would handle it. You know, I've been to one as a DC and three as a head coach, and always came up short. But I would be so happy for the kids and for the Warren Easton community. Warren Easton hasn't won a state championship since the 40s.
Yeah.
You know, and being that, you know, they entrusted this program to me, man. I really would like to get one for them. But it would mean so much, you know, because you know, a lot of people don't understand how much goes into this. It said just high school, and you know, we don't get paid the big bucks like they do in Texas and Georgia and stuff. But you have to, if you want to win, man, you have to work, and it's almost year round. You know, if you want to keep up, you know, with the JT Curtises and the Bryce Browns and the, you know, if you want to keep up with those people, man, you have to work almost year round. You know, without the compensation for it. But if you're doing this high school football for compensation, then you're in the wrong business, because it's not about that. it's about these young men, man, and helping their parents raise them and, you know, to become better men, you know. And I tell people all the time, brother, the X's and O's part is easy is the easy part of it. You know, the hard part is trying to get these young men to understand the future, and eventually you're gonna have to hang those cleats up and what's your plan B, you know, because everybody wants to go to NFL, you know, and I was the same way, but you always got to have that plan B, and you have to be prepared for it, you know. So, and that's our big goal at Warren Easton. You know, the football is just our conduit of getting to them and getting through to them, you know, because that's what they want to do. But we want to raise young men to, you know, carry that torch, because somebody gonna have to push me in the wheelchair when I get older with these bad knees. And I want a good kid that's not gonna push me in traffic, man. So hopefully I'll raise them right.
Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, man. Coach Phillips, man, thank you for joining us. Good luck to you and your team throughout the rest of the season, and we will see you Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me, man. Anytime, I'll do it anytime. I'm excited. And I like to have, and you know, I don't take myself for this too serious, man. So, you know, I hope everybody understand that, man. I'm a jokester. I like to have fun, and you know, life is too short for to be so serious.
Correct.
Yes, sir. Most
Yes,
definitely.
sir.
Yes, sir.
But I
Thank you,
appreciate
Coach.
y'all, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Definitely, man.
All right.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
That's Coach Jerry Phillips, the head coach of the Warren Easton Fighting Eagles. And when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will do our week 2 picks right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Welcome to Bayou AV Security. My name is Rusty Mathern, proud owner and operator. We specialize in providing top-notch audio solutions, advanced security cameras, reliable internet services, and stunning permanent holiday lighting. At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. We are locally owned and conveniently located on the West Bank. As a fully licensed business, we take pride in delivering quality service you can trust. You can see our exceptional work showcased in the Parade of Homes. Experience the Bayou difference firsthand. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. Alston Tyler, yes, you did. You had our way winning last week. Yes, sir, you did. I saw your picks. And nobody else from our fans challenged you. I guess they're scared. You know, like we said, fans, you can do these picks also, and you can send them to my DMs on Facebook, Jared JB Boyd. You can send them to Vashawn Jones. You can send them to Georgie Peppis, Georgie, G-I-E at the end of Georgie Peppis. You can send it to him, or do what Alston did and send it to the Hash It Out Show page. So we want y'all to get involved with the picks also. I think Alston went 18-5.
Wow.
Or 19-4, 1 to 2. I got to go back and check. But here amongst the host and the co-host, the winner of week 1 is your defending champion, me, with a record of 18-5, while the two co-hosts are tied with 15-8. Once again, off to a good start. I am.
Before we start, VK.
Go ahead.
Before we start, VK. What did Cody Rhodes do this year at WrestleMania? Finished what?
The story.
Me and you, one of us two, is going to finish this story this year and take that champ down, right?
That's it.
We taking this champion down. We going to put him in his place.
Yeah, the tribal chief is going down.
Exactly.
Acknowledge me. All right, let's get going, guys. Let's get going. So
Let's
before
go.
we start, I want to say this: it's a possibility that these games can get moved to Saturday. Some got moved to Saturday, and some can get totally canceled still due to this hurricane that's coming on land within the next hours. All right, so these are possibilities. Any game that gets canceled, we're just going to scratch it off the list, and we'll just go from there. I even heard that Shaw and West Jeff are in talks of moving their game to Saturday or not even having it. So we are. It is what it is with this storm, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it is. Being a resident of Louisiana, and yeah, GP. What did Austin tell you? He wanted all the smoke.
1 week wonder. Come get it.
Oh, all right.
1 week wonder, Mr. Tyler.
1 week wonder. All
We
right,
we we want everybody. Austin, keep going, keep coming up in here. We like the competition. Everybody else, participate, please. Make this fun for everybody.
yes, yes. All right, let's move
It's
along,
already fun
everybody.
anyway.
If everybody watching on Twitter/X, Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram, let's get it going. This game has been rescheduled for Saturday at 2 o'clock in Bogalusa. South Plaquemines going to Bogalusa. South Plaquemines got the win on over Higgins. Bogalusa, I forgot who they lost to. As George Peppers is writing down the picks and everything, I will go first. South Plaquemines will defeat Bogalusa. The student, Loud Feet, defeats the teacher, Cyril Crutchfield. I have South Plaquemines. Who you got, VK?
I have to agree with you on that. South Plaquemines is on a mission and a mission from God. I'd take the South Plaquemines Hurricanes.
All right, GP.
Fascinating coaching matchup, student v teacher, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna this one to death because I'm going with the Hurricanes of South Plaquemines as well. I do think it's gonna be a spirited football game. It was moved, like you said, to Saturday. I think the early start, whichever team can adjust to that start, wins it. I feel like the Hurricanes have the method to do it, and they win. I think a close game. South Plaquemines is my pick.
All right. And if you don't know what George means when he says we had Coach Feet on the show, and I swear to God, he said about 400 times. Moving on. We have Denham Springs going to Central. These two guys, I think they had Hammond beating Denham Springs, and I had Denham Springs by myself, and big win for Denham Springs. Big win. Now they got to go to Central. Central was down to De La Salle and came back and got the win. Who wins this game? I think Central gets the win. I'm going with the Central Wildcats. Who you got, VK?
Well, at the same time, Denham had to get away with a win last week, and I'm saying Hammond came so close. But it is what it is with that one. I'm gonna agree with you, Jared. I am gonna go with Coach David Seminole and the Central Wildcats.
All right. Who you got, GP?
I watched some of that Central game, and between you guys, I mean, obviously I couldn't be there with you because I had no voice last week at all. I was nothing last week, so I got to watch Central and De La Salle matched them defensively early, but Central wore them down in that game. They won 14-3. Denham Springs, as you mentioned astutely, and yeah, a blind squirrel could find a nut, right? So just saying. But I'm going to make it unanimous. I got Central. I think this is going to be another close game. The Yellow Jackets convinced me that's a really good football team. Central defensively, though, guys, wait till you see the tape on those guys. They could fly to the ball and do a lot of damage, but Central gets the win in a close game.
All right. So we're moving on to a game I had on the list last week, but we had to cross it out because they didn't play each other. Jesuit played another Jesuit team from Dallas, while Edie White took on Holy Cross. And as you can see, Edie White defeated Holy Cross, and Jesuit lost to the Jesuit in Dallas. So who wins this week? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Edie White will defeat Jesuit. It's happening. I have Edie White. VK.
I think what I seen last week was enough more than anything else. I had Jesuit last week in that pick, and we found out that they did not play. But I kind of changed my mind, and I gotta agree with you on that one, Jared. Ed White, Ed White, they get it done against Jesuit.
GP.
Oof. This is a game I can make ground if I go the Jays, but they got worked pretty good against that Dallas Jesuit team last week, 28, I think 28-20 or something. That in a game that they looked like they were a step behind a lot in that ball game. Um, Edie White winning last week. That was a pretty convincing win too. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Make it unanimous. I'm gonna go Edie White. I think this is another close game. You did good picking some of these games because all three of these look like they're going to be close.
Hey, I hope so. Here we go. Your alma mater, George. The John Eric
Oh, boy.
Patriots going to Homer. This game has been moved to Saturday as well. John Eric taking on Vanderbilt Catholic. I'm going to go first. We saw John Eric continue to fight. They never gave up against Bell Chase. Being down 30-20, 30-0, and losing only 30-20. Had a chance to score. Bad snap from the center, and that sealed the game. I think this game is going to be close, but I think Vanderbilt Catholic gets the win over John Eric. I got Vanderbilt Catholic. Who you got, VK?
Oh man, it's hard for me to. We've been agreeing 4 straight times now. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think me and you on the same page this week, man. That's kind of a good thing. John Eric, I think they're gonna have a better start this week. I think the game is gonna be close, but I think Vanderbilt Catholic will pull it off at the end. I got the Terriers.
GP.
Which hat do I wear? Let me wear the analyst hat. Okay. I don't think John Eric's going to start down 30 to this Vanderbilt Catholic team. I don't see it. Games on the road, yes. The Patriots showed you signs of life even after being down 30. They got it to 30-20 and a fumbled center snap exchange to the quarterback finished off the Patriots in that game. Had the Patriots scored, it would have been very interesting the last couple of minutes had they gotten a touchdown in there. Well, they're not going to kick many field goals. Their kicker is limited, is very nice. Heck, I got to make ground, but I'm not chasing it in week 2, but I am going to chase it here. I'm going to go with the Patriots. I think on talent, I think their talent is better than Vanderbilt Catholic. I do think that the Terriers put up a fight, but I think the Patriots leave 1-1.
Okay. Let's go to the North Shore. A meet at Hammond. This is going to be a tough ball game. Oh, Hammond took a big loss to Denham Springs, and I forgot who a meet lost to. But who gets the win? I'm going to go with the Warriors. I think a meet wins a close one over Hammond. VK.
Man, oh man, I don't know what kind of juice that we've been drinking or I've been drinking, but this is going to be an interesting ball game, which will come down to the wire more than anything else. And I really like a meet to get the job done in a close one against Hammond.
GP.
Another good one for sure. Zephaniah Powell's team is going to play better than they did last week, obviously. Hammond, that was a pretty tough loss to Denham Springs, close game. Played more their style than Denham Springs. Denham Springs likes to play a more wide open kind of game, and the Tornadoes were able to keep it manageable. Still couldn't get the win. I'm going with the home team here. Slight upset, Hammond, but very close.
All right.
And Amy lost to Franklinton last week, 19-12.
19-20?
19-12.
12.
They lost to Franklinton 19-12.
Yes.
Can I change my pick maybe? No, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go with a meet. I'm gonna stick with it.
Nope.
I know, George. I know. All right, guys. This game has been moved from Baton Rouge to Metairie. Gonna be played at Yenny, I think, on Friday. University, Rummel. Two good teams. University got the win last year against Rummel. And now they coming here this year. They're supposed to be, like I said, supposed to be in Baton Rouge again, but they had Rummel. I think University gets the win over the Rummel Raiders. I think they get the win over Rummel. I got University. Who you got, VK?
This is the one we disagree on. I think
Ooh.
this is going to be a close game. This is going to be another great one between these two teams here. Two potential state championship contenders and everything. Man, the biggest factor in this game is that home field being switched. Rummel has their chance at payback, and I think they get payback. Rummel by a field goal.
George.
Well, you know what? The most curious thing about this game is where Rummel stands amongst the pecking order and elite teams. Rummel completely healthy, can play with a lot of teams. Injured, they played BRC to the tilt in that semi, but but University High's got something very different. Yes, the home field switch changes the dynamic a little bit. I still think the Cubs are more than good enough to come down to Metairie and win a very tight ball game. Cubs are my pick. You high.
There we go. You high. Brother Martin at St. Paul's. Yeah, Alston. LCA was very good. They did look good against Rummel. They did look good. Um, Brother Martin at St. Paul's. Too much set the Zet. Too much Rex LeBlanc. Too much Warren Easton. Not Warren Easton. Easton Royal. I'm sorry, Easton Royal. I got Brother Martin over St. Paul's. Well, you got VK.
It's a good one. Another good one. Tough one to pick. This is a coin toss on that one because both these teams, this is an even matchup. Like I said, and I'm gonna go with what Joseph Holmes said. St. Paul's is on a mission this year. I'm gonna go with the home team in this one, St. Paul's.
Okay. George Peppers. He's going with St. Paul's. Who you got?
You think so?
He is.
You think
VK
so?
going with VK thinks so.
I know
You
he
got St.
is.
Paul's.
Birds of a feather don't always flock together, and that applies with this game. Let's understand one thing. Seth has said is a pretty good quarterback for Brother Martin. That is a solid football team. This is going to be a great coaching X's and O's matchup. Mark Moniz and Kenny Sears, great coaching matchup. But Brother Martin has figured out how to beat North Shore teams on the regular. It doesn't stop here. Crusaders are my pick.
There you have it. All right. 2 0-1 teams. The Carver Rams taking on the Higgins Hurricanes. Does Coach Figueroa gets his first win being a head coach? Or does Coach Emmanuel Power gets his first win being a head coach at Higgins? Steve Carver defeats the Higgins Hurricanes. Coach Figueroa gets his first win. All right, VK.
Like we've been going opposite these last four picks, so I'm gonna go opposite again. You know what I'm saying? I think Coach Emmanuel Powell is gonna bounce back, get his team together. This game is gonna be very, very close. If you are taking the over under, take the under in this game. Take the under because this is gonna be a brutal defensive ball game. I got Higgins winning by a touchdown.
Coach Figueroa, get the Gatorade ready.
Hey, George.
Coach Figueroa, get the Gatorade ready. I think the Rams get this done.
You mean the Carver Rams get the Gatorade ready for Coach
Yeah,
Figueroa?
yeah. Carver Rams, get it ready for them, and make sure it's fruit punch. I don't care what kind y'all got. It's enough electrolytes. Listen, Higgins' team is a work in progress. Obviously, Emmanuel Powell's got a lot of work to do there. They've got to find an identity, and they don't have that yet. Carver, before their season was derailed last year, remember they had all those issues. You think those kids aren't thinking about a catchback? Absolutely. I think the Rams win this game, and I agree with VK on one aspect. It's a low-scoring game, but the Rams win it.
Right. Let's go to Bell Chase, y'all. East Jeff is coming to town to take on the Bell Chase Cardinals. So who stays undefeated? I think the Bell Chase Cardinals will stay undefeated. VK?
Gotta agree with you on this one. I think the Bell Chase Cardinals, you know, chance for some proving ground here. And I think the Bell Chase Cardinals and Stephen Myers will go 2-0 in a close one against East Jeff.
All right.
The pre-
We got
how could
GP.
it, how could he disappoint his fan base? I mean, he picked
Okay.
Belchase. But all jokes aside, East Jeff, look, a positive way to start the year 1-0, getting the job done last week. Good stuff
Yep.
there for them. So I don't know what that translates to going forward, but I do know that Stephen Myers and the Belchase Cardinals, I think, are just simply a better football team at this stage. The Cardinals win. It's hard to win at the cage, but Cardinals find it. The Cardinals at home get it done.
All right. Let's go to Mandeville. Madison Prep traveling
Ooh,
to Mandeville. Who gets this win? The Mandeville Skippers. Nate Shepard, I think, has another big game 2 weeks straight. I got the Mandeville Skippers over Madison Prep. You got VK.
Well, I think that's going to be an interesting game in itself. But Nate Shepard, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Another player of the week or something like that. He is that good, and he's doing it on both sides of the ball. So I like the Mandeville Skippers against Madison Prep.
All right. GP.
I'm gonna go with Mandeville as well. I think they're a better football team. Nate Shepard is a difference maker. Madison Prep doesn't have that dude like Nate. Skippers win.
All right. So this next one we're not going to pick because there is a possibility we may have two games this week that we may broadcast. So we're not going to pick this one. This is Newman at Riverside. It also got rescheduled to Saturday at either 5 or 7 o'clock. So we're not going to pick this game because we may be calling this game. So it's a work in progress. We will see if we get this game or not. So we're going to move on. St. Augustine going to East St. John. Purple Knights.
Purple Knights as well. Big.
Yeah. GP.
The only concern I have for St. Augustine is how do they handle the distraction that is of Jakeem being gone and now going to a rival New Orleans school in Edna Car in Algiers, technically. But East St. John got wasted last week against St. James, 20-0 at home against a team that is in transition. Og's gonna win. Name the number.
Name the number. Ooh. All right. Here's some other rivals going at it. St. Charles Catholic at Lutcher. St. Charles Catholic lost to Newman, and Lutcher defeated Slidell. I have the Lutcher Bulldogs defeating St. Charles Catholic in a close one. VK, who you got?
Well, that's going to be a very close one there. Lutcher getting some momentum in this game. St. Charles looking for direction. Should be a very, very good game indeed. And man, it's hard for St. Charles team to go 0-2. Hard for this one. But I'm gonna go with the Lutcher Bulldogs.
There you go. There you go. All right. Who you got? GP.
Yeah, I can't fathom a Wayne Stein coach team starting 0-2, but I told you guys before the year this could be a hangover year for them, considering how they lost that game against Calvary in the Dome. Lost last week. Newman did something they didn't do a lot of last year, play defense, and they only held them to 10 points last week. And they had Eli Friend in the second half that went off. Got the job done. Lutcher is Lutcher. Dwayne Jenkins has a great thing going. They had a little hiccup in the playoffs last year, but they got off to a good start last week. How about them dogs, VK? Right? The war chant. How about them dogs? Lutcher gets it done.
All right. Warren Easton at John F. Kennedy. No pick here, ladies and gentlemen, because that is the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week that you catch on the YouTube page of JB the Sports Guy. Make sure you check that out. Click that like, click the subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. West Jeff at Archbishop Shaw talks of moving it to Saturday or maybe being canceled. We don't know yet. We shall see. But I think we're all in agreement. Shaw,
Thanks for the gift.
you're welcome. George Peppers, upset.
I'm upset you got this game on the schedule. I mean, let me say this before we move on, because I'm picking Shaw. But for those of you that missed West Jeff's terrific outing last week, and I'm being facetious when I say this, they lost 51-0 at home against Franklin Parish. How the mighty have fallen. That team is woeful,
Franklin's a good
awful.
team.
No, West Jeff's not. Franklin, I'm
No,
not saying that,
I
but
said Franklin. I said
I know,
Franklin.
but
No.
West Step in the heyday don't lose those kind of games. These are games they eat for breakfast back in the day. But
College,
Shaw, y'all took some licks last week. Y'all took some licks last week against Endicott, but look, that's Endicott. And now that Endicar's got Jakeem, that's gonna be a hell of a dynamic. Shaw did what they could early, and Carr just wore y'all down. Ain't gonna be none of that stuff this week. I think Shaw wins. This is one I would be willing to give somebody 60 if Shaw wants to give it up. Shaw, big.
All right.
West Jeff probably had the worst loss in their history of the school because Franklin Parish is they're okay of a football program, but 51-0. That's bad.
They're a good team. They're
They're
not gonna win
good.
state. Not gonna win state, but they are a good team, especially in the class they're in. That's a lot of PowerPoints. I think that's
no,
14.
no, that's a not bad. I'm saying it's not a bad program, but their basketball program is thriving more than their football
That's great.
program.
That's a great
That's what.
program.
That's
That's
it.
excellent.
The basketball is great.
The
Football is
good.
all right.
Football's good.
Basketball is rolling.
Football's good. They'll get to the second round maybe. That's about it. They're good. They're not elite with the other
Like the
teams in the
basketball team.
division. They're good. Their basketball team's elite. All right.
Exactly.
West St. John played young audience and lost. I think that shocked us all. We were not expecting that. And Nick Campbell said, young audience got some players over there. You need to look out. And yeah, we need to definitely look out for sure. I think young audience has Cohen this week sometime. Unless I think they do. It's supposed to play Thursday. So I'm sure that's getting rescheduled. But so that was a loss that shocked me. St. James, they beat up East St. John. What is this game called, VK? The what?
The Railroad Classic.
Railroad Classic. And if there's a trophy, it is staying with St. James. St. James defeats West St. John.
And first of all, got to give a big time props and congratulations to Dennis Christopher, the head coach of Young Audiences, in their first ever varsity game,
Yeah.
getting the win. But for this game here, this is going to be really, really close. But I think the St. James Wildcats will find a way, and they'll get it done, and it'll be 2-0, and that'll be big for Coach Levanta Davis and a very young St. James squad.
George Peppers.
I was flabbergasted that young audience won, but hearing what you just said, that they've got some cats on that young audience team that can play a little bit, but still a first timer against a renowned traditional power back in the day. First timers don't usually win, but they did. St. James was visually impressive last week defensively. They were absolutely stout. To shut out a 5A team on the road says a lot. And Levanta Davis is an outstanding coach. I still think this is a young team that's going to have some bumps. It ain't this week. St. James goes to 2-0.
All right, let's go up north. Alexandria at Union. Alexandria got a big win last weekend. Union lost to North DeSoto. So here we are. Who wins this game? Union's at home. I think Alexandria wins in a close one to Union Paris. I got Alexandria. VK.
Got to agree with you on that. I think Alexandria is on a mission, and they're looking to try to get back to the state championship game. Union's a really good team. This is going to be a very good game, but I really think Alexandria will get it done on the road.
George Peppers.
Alexandria's got some questions to answer. Can they win these kind of games on the road against pumpable opposition. They haven't done so a lot. But I think their talent base is a little better than Union Parish. And I think Alexandria gets up there. The long trip, it is a long trip to go 3.5 hours to Union. That's
That's
way
that.
up there. Yeah, from Alexandria, it's about
That's
3.5 hours.
no, it's not.
Okay.
No,
So
it's
if you're
not.
driving, it might be different, but that's
From Lafayette maybe, but not.
okay.
No, not Alexandria.
Alexandria wins their style of play. I think they out tempo Union Parish, and that gets them the win here. Alexandria is my pick.
I agree.
Where is Union Parish located in what's
Shreveport.
that? In Shreveport.
It's close to Shreveport. It's not exactly because Shreveport's in Caddo Parish. Union Parish is up there too, though, but it's very close.
Is
It's close.
actually a 1 hour 49 minute drive.
I know. Thank you, George. When you see him, you can slap him because he was trying to, embarrass you.
Hey, how you gonna tell him to slap me and he the one that challenged you?
Because it was between us. Like you jumped in. It was over with.
I was trying to help. I was trying to help you out, dog. What
It
kind
wasn't
of
helping
stuff
me.
you doing?
It was over with.
Oh
It was
man,
over
look at
with.
everybody for themselves. Tribal chief himself. God, dog. OTC.
That's right. Acknowledge me. All right. Moving on. Washita 6-0 win over Natchitoches Central. Wasserman lost big to the bastard Rams. Like lost big. I think 40-7. Very shocking. Who wins this week? Can Wasserman bounce back? I want to say yeah for Coach Cahey, but I'm kind of feeling Washita. I'm gonna go Washita. Washita Lions gets the win. VK.
Who Washita beat last week?
Natchitoches Central
Good
six
win.
zero.
Good win for them. Good win. Good win, but they're not back, and I don't know when they're gonna be back. I
Is
take
Bastrop
Walsh.
is Bastrop back?
Well, that is an interesting question, my friend. That is an interesting question that we're gonna see these next couple weeks
Yeah,
because it's been a while. But at
yeah.
the same time, I'm not believing in the Washita Lions. I'm taking the Wasserman Tigers.
All right. George Peppers.
Oof. I don't know which way to go here. I really don't. This was a coin flip for me. I like Terrence Cahey and what he's done at Wasserman, and they really beat the break. They got beat up pretty bad against Bastrop, and I don't know what that means for Bastrop. I do know Watson can play some defense, and it feels like that's what this is going to come down to. I think that they win. To me, I think they win a low scoring, physical football game. Washington wins it.
All right. We're going outside of the state here.
We are.
Really?
Oh, we are.
What's going on? Oh, okay.
West
Ooh.
Monroe going to Pulaski Academy. We've heard about Pulaski a lot, even though their coach, who always goes for it on fourth down, isn't at Pulaski anymore. Can West Monroe go into Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas, and get the win over Pulaski? No. Pulaski Academy defeats West Monroe. VK.
I'm going to go with Pulaski as well.
George Peppers.
I think George is going to do it.
What? Win one for the boot? Is that what you want me to do? That pick
That's
one for
on
the boot?
you. That's on
Nah,
you.
man. Look, I love the state I live in. I love the people I'm with. But I got to try to win this pick segment. And I'm not chasing every game in week 2 of a 14-week season, 15-week season. Actually, 10
No.
week because we got 2
10, yeah.
championships.
Regular season,
10
yeah.
because we got 2 titles.
That's right.
So, Pulaski, Arkansas, I remember the coach that you referenced, and I worked with a coach that did the same exact thing, would go for it on fourth down and a million. Thought he was playing Madden. I'm like, come on, man. But, there is such a thing, but Pulaski gets it done.
We're gonna come down a little bit, but stay up north. Neville was supposed to come down to Lafayette and play Southside. That game is canceled due to Hurricane Francine. Westgate was supposed to go up north to Shreveport to play Calvary Baptist. That game is canceled also. So Neville and Calvary Baptist said, let's play each other. Neville said, we'll come to your place. Who wins this matchup? Neville had a big win over Evangel last week. Huge win. Can the Neville Tigers get it done over the team that is said by many to be the best team in the state, Calvary Baptist? Does Neville go into Shreveport and defeat Calvary Baptist? If Evangel had trouble scoring points on Neville, can Calvary Baptist do it? I think Neville goes into Shreveport and they get the win over Calvary Baptist. I got the Neville Tigers. And I already know what VK gonna say. So go ahead, VK. Go ahead and say.
You know what I'm gonna say?
Because you don't believe in Neville. You said it. They got to do this. They got to do that. You don't believe in Neville.
Now, let me tell you something. Now, last week, I give Neville a lot of props.
Okay.
A lot of props. Hell of a win. Very convincing win.
Yeah.
So they're proving that they're worthy. They're proving that they're worthy a bit. Can they do it? Now, if they get this win against Calvary, that's saying a lot. When you beat two really good teams in North Louisiana, that's saying that Neville might be back, especially with them back in 5A. So it'll be interesting. Could they do it 2 weeks in a row on the road? No. I'm going with Calvary Baptist. Get it done in a close ball game.
All right, George Peppers. Break the tie. I see you, Mitch.
All right.
I see you, Mitch. I see you. With your rate of pride. I see you, my brother. Go ahead, George.
Calvary dropped 62 on Union Parish last week. High scoring game because Union Parish put 41 on them.
No.
I don't know
They
if
didn't,
that.
no, they didn't play
Yeah, they
Union
scored.
Parish.
Oh, they
play.
dropped 60. Oh, no. Oak Grove. Oak
There you
Grove.
go. Okay, yeah.
There we go, Grove. Okay, I knew it was one of those teams from up there.
Yeah.
But Oak Grove's a 1A school. Calvary is what, 3? I think? 3A?
2A.
2A. Regardless, they're playing a 5A school at home. And Neville with a resounding win last week at Evangel. Evangel's not all the way back yet. That's what we learned from last week. They're making steps, but Neville is trying to put a proving ground early in this season. I've said from the jump that I believe this Cavalier team might be the best team in the state, regardless of class. This is a difficult matchup, but the Cavaliers, with that talent pool, with James Simon, Abram Waddell, and that offense, find a way to get it done. They win a tight ball game.
All right. Let's come down to Lafayette. This game is still scheduled to be played. Karen Crow, almost with the comeback victory over St. Thomas More. Didn't happen. Maybe VK believes in St. Thomas More again. And Lafayette Christian with a tough ball game in the Superdome against Rumble. Maybe Lafayette Christian is just cursing the dome. I don't know. But anyway, these two will slug it out. Who wins this game? I'm going to go Lafayette Christian in a close one. I think Lafayette Christian wins in a close ball game. Karen Crow goes to 0-2. Even though I still got Karen Crow winning that district, though. Go ahead, VK.
All right, this is going to be another good one. Very good game, more than anything else. Lafayette Christian, they look like they didn't really miss a beat last week. They didn't really miss a beat, even though with the new coaches, quarterback.
Hold on, Mitch. Hold on. He's a good athlete. I'm not saying he's the best athlete in the state. Hold on, Mitch. Let's slow it down a little bit. That quarterback is good. He's good. Braylon Walker. I got to get his first name right, but his last name's Walker. He's good. They're calling him like Lamar Jackson because they called Jawan Mike Vick. He's good. I'm not going there yet that he's the best athlete in the state. So I kind of disagree with you, but he's good. Go ahead, VK.
Well, I would like LCA with a lot of transition, but they look real good against Rommel, even though they lost the ball game. Karen Crow, so close, but it's gonna be a good ball. Somebody's going home on 1-2, and it's gonna be LCA, Karen Crow in a close ball game.
VK sounds mad that Karen Crow lost by a point to St. Thomas More.
Yeah, he's
My
mad.
boy just, I don't know, dog. I mean, I feel like he's stewing. Gotta believe in Jim Hightower, sir. Stop the
Yeah,
haterade.
there's no haterade of Jim Hightower.
All
Period.
right,
I have the most respect for that man,
as you should.
and I'm telling you, there's no hate on STM. I was just convinced that Karen Crow can pull this off, and he didn't. Big time props to STM. I don't say I don't believe in them, but I said like sometimes people have lean years, but I said STM will be a factor down the line.
Since we're talking about believing, you know what you're supposed to believe in. Why don't you believe in Joe Hendry? Just saying. But wrestling teams. All right. But all kidding aside, this is going to be a fascinating matchup. Walker, the kid from LC, showed his wares last week against a higher class, a top tier opponent in Rumble. I don't know if they have it in them to do it again. I'm going to go with the Karen Crow Bears because I think they answered a lot of questions, losing by 8 points to a St. Thomas More team that has a legit chance to be that team to win Division One. Karen Crow is going to show you something this week. This is going to be a close ball game, but I'm going to go with the road team as well.
Mr. D Coates, what's up, my man? We talked about your son earlier on the show. The beginning of the show, we talked about your son, how his time was called due to Jakeem leaving St. Augustine, and how he got the sack, 3 tackles for loss, and the pick 6 touchdown. All right, here we go. We got 2 picks left and we're done with the show. Calicut Baton Rouge going to St. Thomas More. I already know who VK picking. So, we can just go ahead and mark that down. He's going to pick Calicut Baton Rouge. Might as well. But I'm not. I'm not picking Calicut Baton Rouge. I think STM gets the job done. They were up 21-0 on Karen Crow. They let their foot off the gas. Let Karen Crow come back. Broussard, the cornerback for STM, had 4 interceptions that game. STM defeats Calicut Baton Rouge. Calicut Baton Rouge was down to Destrehan, like 14-0. And they came back and won. And, the injury bug is just biting Destrehan left and right. Now, Jackson Fields is out 6 weeks with a leg injury. Destrehan cannot catch a break right now, man, with the injury bug. But hopefully, Coach Marcus Scott got something planned and they can keep rolling, or start rolling, I should say, because they lost. But anyway, St. Thomas More defeats Calicut. All right, BK, go ahead and say Calicut Baton Rouge. Go ahead.
George Peppers, can you go first, my friend?
Oh, wow. He's going to defer to me. All right. St. Thomas More, I just made a statement saying they could compete in Division One, and they got the win against Karen Crow. Catholic, they're still breaking in some new talent over there. Quarterback and everything. They were down 2 scores at a Destrehan team that feels transitional. It feels a little semi-transitional this year. They don't have, and now with Jackson Fields out, that's going to really hurt them. And that Hahnville game, all of a sudden, Nick Campbell, I know you're watching. Hahnville might just get him. Caught that break. I think they play him in that time when he's out, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
No, it's week 10.
No, week 10.
Oh, it is week 10. Okay, so,
Yeah.
all right, no excuses. All right. That's good. I'm going to go with the home team here. I think St. Thomas More wins a close game. St. Thomas More, close game here, VK. Cougars. Go ahead, pick them. I dare you.
Well, let me tell you something right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all thinking that I'm going to pick the road team. You think I'm going to go ahead and pick it? You think
It doesn't matter what you think.
You think I believe like Joe Hendry? I should come out there. I'm gonna come out there like Wes Lee did to Joe Hendry. You gotta love it. You gotta believe in Wes Lee. All I'm gonna tell you, I'm going STM this week.
No,
because I'm not stupid.
No CS, Michael. Hornville Destler Hand is week 10. It's not week 8. It's week 10. No. No. Is it week 9? He might be right. He might be right. Hold on. He might be right.
Still
Let me
though,
check.
it's still though. Jackson Fields will be back for that game.
Yeah, he'll be back. But I got the schedule.
Mhm.
Week 9. Week 9 at Destrehan. It's week 9. Not week
Mhm.
10. It's week 9. Harvey got a late show on week 10. So week 9. So everybody was wrong. All right,
Yeah.
VK picking STM. Oh boy. All right. Yeah.
STM. That's right.
The Earth is flat. He just picked STM.
All right. We going to our last.
Not stupid, baby. Not
Oh, we
stupid.
know.
Well, look at this dude Mitch talking trash on Instagram.
What are you
Talking trash
talking
to Mr. D Coates. Rummel will spoil your homecoming. So I guess Rummel and St.
Romo
Aug
does
as
play
St. Is St. Aug's homecoming?
St. Aug's homecoming this year.
Man, why y'all did that, bro? Why y'all put Rummel? You know how it is when St. Aug play Rummel. They're on a homecoming. Oh,
Hey,
man.
we beat them at the last homecoming we had them, and that was my 25th reunion. So we'll see what happens in this one.
Yes,
So,
indeed. My goodness. Oh man. All right, here we go to our
That's
last
cold.
one. So this is being played at Yeoman Stadium Saturday night. De La Salle versus Holy Cross. Who gets the win? Who bounces back from their first loss? I'm going with Coach Watney and his crew. The Holy Cross Tigers bounce back and defeat De La Salle. VK.
this one is a close one, and De La Salle had a very
Tell him, D Coates. Tell him. What up, Philip Wright? What's happening, baby? What's happening?
well. De La Salle had a
5-star Chris. I see you, man. All right, I'm sorry, VK.
No, you good. You good. You interacted on Instagram.
Yeah.
De La Salle had a critical injury that could affect them. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I think De La Salle is still a better team this year. But I'm going to agree with you, Jared. I'm going to go with Scott Watney and the Holy Cross Tigers getting the win.
All right, George Peppers, you get the last pick of the night.
I do, Mr. Irrelevant, right? I guess, for lack of a better term. I saw pieces of that De La Salle game, and they struggled titanically offensively against Central. But again, Central's got a very underrated defense,
But
and
Central came back in the fourth quarter. They were down.
they did 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, got it done.
Yeah.
They were able to finish. De La Salle couldn't close. Holy Cross, though, last year they sprung up and beat a lot of people. Great offense and everything else. Suffered an opening loss here. I think that another spirited affair. I'm going to make it unanimous. I'm going to go with Holy Cross at home.
All right. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, there's a hurricane approaching Louisiana. What I want to say is, ladies and gentlemen, please be safe, take shelter. Just be safe with the storm. If you're evacuating or if you're gonna stay in, just stay safe. And then if we have some high school football games, go ahead and go to these high school football games. Clear your mind a little bit, and we're just gonna pray for the best. Pray for the best that this hurricane isn't as serious. That isn't serious at all. So we just pray for the state, pray for the areas that's going to get rain, that's going to get hit. We just pray for every and anybody, and that's going to be in the affected area of Hurricane Francine. Other than that, we are going to live stream John F. Kennedy versus Warren Easton, and right now that is still scheduled for Friday at 7:00. We're going to start our pregame show at 6:30. So if that game gets moved to Saturday, we will be right there still showing that game on Saturday. Before we get out of here, VK, you got any last words?
Well, prayers going out to the state. Prayers going out to this path of the storm. This is going to be an interesting 24 to 48 hours. So let's stay hopeful. Let's stay positive, and hopefully we everybody spare of life and not too much of damage. And also, big time, congrats going to the New Orleans Saints with a huge win. Hopefully, let's see if they can do it 2 weeks in a row. The smack talking commences because the New Orleans Saints will travel to take on the Dallas Cowboys, and a lot of Saints fans are going to be traveling to that ball game. Be careful on the road and everything else, and a good bit of college action this weekend as well to get you some extra distraction, and hopefully, and I felt kind of bad for this team, the Tulane Green Wave. Hopefully, they can try to bounce back after what happened last Saturday, which was terrible.
Horrible.
Late,
Horrible.
late in the game. My goodness, I know we didn't
Big
get a
12
chance to talk about.
officials.
Yeah, I mean, how in the world you call that late in the game? Unbelievable. But regardless of the fact, hopefully they coach. And I tell you one thing, the only positive thing I seen with that game, Tulane got a quarterback, y'all. Tulane got a quarterback, so they're straight. So Tulane is gonna bounce back. Hopefully they can get the win against Oklahoma. It's gonna be tough, but hopefully they can have a real good performance. But regardless of the fact, y'all be safe out there, man. And hopefully we get through this 24-48 unscathed.
GP.
So all of you out there that are going to ride this storm out, please, and I'm going to speak as a law enforcement official, as a first responder, as a corrections officer. If you're going to get out of there on the road, don't. Don't let the police go out there and do their job. Don't run interference. Because guess what? You're going to be visiting us at 100 Dollar Street if y'all mess around and get in the way of a police officer doing patrols. You should not be on the road. I'm just saying it straight. You shouldn't be on the road for a potential Cat 2. All right? This is a potential Cat 2. I think they're talking about it getting to 100 miles an hour. I don't know what it is now.
It's a category
It's
one
a category
hurricane,
one. It's a
and the
category
way and
one.
the way and the way it's looking right now, it might stay as a one. So we'll
Okay,
see.
well, whatever that means. But to the people of Terrebonne Parish, because guess what? That's where the bullseye is right now. That's where the center of circulation is projected to go, right over them. To them, hope y'all have everything prepared and ready. We're gonna all hunker down tomorrow. Well, I'm gonna be at work tomorrow. So to you guys, I don't know what y'all have. If y'all working tomorrow, whatever.
I gotta
Um,
work.
even in this,
UPS
man,
don't care.
Jared, I know. Yeah, what
Shoot.
can Brown do for you, right? I
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah.
Even
I
e-
totally,
Get
even
the
in
pack
a
delivered.
hurricane,
yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
wow.
But
I
Jared, look, I know you're gonna be on that road because you have to. Please be safe out there, bro. Please be safe out there. Take
be
every precaution you need to take. If it gets too hairy, pull over
be,
and let
be
it
safe.
ride out.
Yeah, please be safe,
What's that?
and
But
please, please,
you know, we we're gonna go through this. We this is not our first rodeo, and it's not gonna be our last. You know, we get these once every few years, and this one's got our name on it, Francine. So, to all of you out there, please be safe. And another thing, I've seen people gripe about not having power, but you can get on Facebook. Okay, I hear you. So let everybody do their jobs. Let the restoration teams of Entergy and Clico and all the energy companies come out there and get everything back. But the most things you can replace property, you can't replace a human life. And that's my close for tonight. You can't replace life. Property, easy. Life, never. So please be safe, Jared. Again, to you, be safe, bro, on that roadway. BK, whatever you do, please be safe as well. And guess
and I'm
what?
staying up here.
Guess what? We gonna see each other Friday night. Warren Easton Kennedy. Speak
That's
that into
right.
existence, y'all. We gonna
Yeah,
speak that into existence, and we might have another game. But
We
stay
might.
tuned for that. We might, but stay tuned for that.
That's right. Friday night. Or unless it gets moved to Saturday. Whatever day it is, make sure you tune in. Hash It
Yep,
Out Show Game of the Week. John F.
that's
Kennedy
right.
versus Warren Easton on JB the Sports Guy YouTube page. For VK Jones and for George Peppers, I am JB the Sports Guy. No show tomorrow due to the storm. and the chances of not having power. So no show tomorrow. We'll see you Friday night on the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week, and we'll be back next week, Tuesday, with the Hash It Out Show. Y'all take care.
Head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching the Hash It Out Show.
Larry Page, the head football coach at John F. Kennedy High School, and you watching the Hash It Out Show.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out Show. Please subscribe and comment.